Hello everyone, welcome to the 5th class of CM2 typing. So basically we have covered most of the portion of CM2 in our previous 4 classes. We started off with basic mathematical notations and basic MS Word shortcuts, and we did utility theory. We also have covered our runoff and ruin theory. Basically we did a question from runoff. I told you how to copy paste a table from Excel to Word, and if you are from IAI and you are not allowed to use Excel in your exams, then also I told you how to directly format the table in the Word itself. And also I told you one another method that if you are not comfortable with making a table, how can you avoid the table and still present it in your answer in the best way. Okay. Now moving forward, let us come to one more unit, that is stochastic modeling unit. Yes, we have 3 chapters in that: Brownian motions and martingales, we have Ito processes chapter, and also we have stochastic models for security prices basically, right. Again, there is no new notation, but still this chapter is considered one of the most tough chapters or time taking chapter when it comes to typing. Why? Because we have a lot of integration, we have a lot of subscript and superscript, and we have to type that simultaneously while thinking of the answer. Clear? So yes, I thought that we should take a question so that you can practice with me at the same time. And if you guys have any doubt, please comment it down on the video and or message our team. We will get back to you. Okay. And again a reminder guys, this is not a technical class. We are just going to learn how to type a single thing or how to type it more fast than usual, right. And if you guys think that I have missed a particular notation in my classes which you feel that I should teach, then please also comment it down below the video or message our team. Okay. So shall we get started guys? Cool. We will be doing this 10.2 question basically. So I think first, second and third part are basically numerical based. Fourth part is your theoretical portion which you can cover at your own pace. I will be doing first to second part, and if we have time we will be also doing third part as well. Otherwise I will give this third part as your homework. Okay. So let's start the first part. If you guys are not done this topic in your paper A, so what you can do is, for the time being, you can look at the answer and start typing simultaneously. Okay, that's completely okay, but do not miss typing just because of the fact that you are not done in paper A. Clear? So let's start with our 10.2 question basically. So first one is basically I have to find the expression of dB square S. Okay, B is basically my Brownian motion. So I will write down the heading. I have already told you that it is good to write the heading, but again not compulsory. So how to write B square S guys? So B, I have to go to superscript to write square. So control shift plus square, control shift minus, I have S, control shift minus to come to normal script. Okay. If you write, look, this is how it is read. It is read B square S now. It is not read as BS square. So you can do either way. Either you can write square in the either you can write subscript first or you can write superscript first. That's also completely okay. You are not penalized on such trivial things. Okay. So I can say by applying, look, either you are applying the Ito's lemma or you are applying the Taylor series. Please mention it at the start of the. Please mention it before your equation. Okay, that helps the examiner to mark you clearly. Clear? So I will write. So I am assuming you can apply any of the things. So I can write either. So let's write applying only. Applying Taylor's series for expansion, and if you are using Ito's lemma, so you can say applying Ito's lemma for expansion. Okay. So what will be my equation? So I will write the equation. So let's use normal approach, and also I will write in equation editor approach. So D, now look, D becomes capital, so I can just use control Z. Okay. So control shift plus, go to the square, control shift minus, come to the subscript, control shift minus, come to the normal script. This is equal to 2B, control shift minus, come to the normal script. Then we have DBS. So I would recommend guys, please use this star sign, because in your when you are writing in the copy it is more clearly visible, but when you are writing in the Word, so we might get confused, examiner might get confused, and most importantly when we are revising the thing, we ourselves can get confused, which is most dangerous in the exam. Okay, so that's why use this star sign or either give a proper spacing. Okay, so DB control shift minus S plus we have 1 by 2. So if you are writing 1 by 2, use this. I generally prefer writing 1 by 2 as 0.5. So you can write 0.5 as well, but yes, of course in the exam we are not only limited to 1 by 2, we can got 3 by 2, and it is not convenient to convert everything into decimals, right? So yes, at that time use brackets for my fraction into 2 into dbs whole square. So db control shift minus and control shift plus for the square. Okay, please note that dbs square without a bracket means different thing, and dbs with a whole bracket square means a different thing. So make sure you are using two different notations for two different things. Okay, and not mixing up the things. Okay, so then we have we can simply copy paste the whole thing. This whole thing is copy pasted. So keep your hands on the keyboard and mouse, and we have ds because it becomes small. So you can give this you should give the explanation of why this dbs square becomes ds. So you can say because it will become very small unit. Okay, so I can write tab. You can use tabs to go to the next give spacing in a quick manner. Okay, rather than using space, tab gives multiple spaces in one go. So basically I will use db control shift minus control shift plus square is equal to ds. This generally basically what I have shown here, this means that how I get this equation as this, because I have replaced this with this. So I don't need to write a whole statement for this. I can generally say that this is equal to this. That's why I am able to write this equation. Okay, clear guys? Is this clear? Okay, now let's move forward. I will say let G be S. Basically a function I am defining is control shift minus S. So you have to clearly mention. If you are writing F, you can also use capital F as well, but I am here using G. That's completely up to you. Now I will partially differentiate this. First partial differentiation with respect to S, first partial differentiation with respect to BS, and second order partial differentiation with respect to BS. Right? So what is the thing that I have told you? When we are partially differentiating the things now, then we are required to write it specifically that we are partially differentiating. If not, we should use that partial sign, that is my del. Okay, so which is lot more slow to fast, because I have to write completely this partial thing. Okay, if you are convenient in that, you can write that. Otherwise, just write at the start partially differentiating the equation, yeah, or we can say function. Okay, partially differentiating the function. What we can say now, we can use D. We can simply use dg by ds. Okay, since I have here mentioned partially word now, it basically gives examiner a hint. Okay, I am using partial here. I do not specifically need to use that del sign. Okay, but if still you want to use the del sign, how to get the del sign guys? Backslash partial g by backslash partial s. Okay, in the equation editor this is the same thing. So it is 0 basically. Let's use the equation editor this time. So I have partial g by partial bs. Clear? This is 2bs basically. Okay, clear? Now again using the second thing. So if I am using the equation editor, it will become partial square g by, I will use brackets. Okay, backslash partial bs, and I have square. Okay, brackets close, then a space is equal to 2. Okay, how to write the same thing in a normal equation, guys? So I will use backslash partial square, control shift plus square g by, this is my numerator, this is my fractional sign, this is the start of my denominator, backslash partial, then we have bs, right? So control shift minus bs, then we have square, control shift plus square, then brackets close, this is equal to 2. So okay, you can write it this way as well. Clear? Is this clear? So now we will say, now we can also write db control shift minus s is equal to 0 ds plus 1 db control shift minus s. Okay, we can write this. So again I will recommend use this star sign if you are writing this, otherwise you can also use equation writer for this, but I feel like this is something which is very easy to write in normal approach, so why use the equation writer, why use the heavy functionality of MS Word. Okay, so again I write using Ito's lemma. Now Ito's lemma I am using from a tables book now, so that's why it is very important to give the reference to the tables book, because IFoA has repeatedly said in its handbook that you should give enough referencing when you are coming to the tables book thing. Okay, so I would recommend from table book page, whatever it is. Okay, so I can write dg is equal to 0 into basically d 2bs control shift minus, and I have plus 0.5 into 1 square basically into 2 plus 0. Okay, into ds, right, plus 1 into, what is the dbs? It is 2bs and dbs I will write. So 2b control shift minus s star db control shift minus s. So basically this is the things. Please make sure if you are not getting the things, that's completely technical aspect and you have to go through the technical things. Okay, I am just focusing on how to improve the typing. So if you have any doubt in typing, then please consult me. Okay, so we have d b control shift minus, then control shift minus again control shift plus, I have a square out there, sorry, b control shift plus control shift minus, I have this square out there. Okay, this is equal to 2 control shift bs dbs and plus ds. So basically you can also skip this, because basically this equation is the simplification of this. Okay, so I don't need to write this as this, and you can do the same thing using the Taylor's expression as well. So that's also completely. For example, what will change now? Using Taylor's expansion from table book page number this, and you can just expand the things and you can get the things. Okay, now we have to integrate. So I will write integrating both sides with respect to basically I will tell the ranges. So integrating both sides from 0 to t. Okay, so what I will get now, how to write integration. So let's write left hand side using the normal approach, let's write right hand side with the equation editor approach. Okay guys, so basically int control z, int, what is my limit? Now I will put in the ranges. So 0 to t. Okay, brackets close. Use the colon, start the bracket, control z because I get a smiley face. Now write whatever is within your integral. So we have d b square s, right, brackets closed. Why? Because look, this bracket close was for this b square s and this bracket close was for my integral. Okay, if I come to right hand side, so how can I write in the equation editor? So 2 star backslash int, sorry, okay, underscore sign, brackets open, basically my not brackets open because I have one unit only in the subscript, so I can write 0. For the upper limit I use this sign and I have t out there. Okay, I get this sign, this box now, this shows that I am still within my integral. Now if I press enter here now, So can you see it goes downward, and still if I keep pressing the enter, it will keep going downward. So that's why I first would require to come out of this integral and then press enter to go to the next line. Is that clear? We will be focusing over that. So bs into dbs. Now I want to come out of the integral, so I will use this forward arrow key. Okay, can you see 4 arrow keys in your keyboard? So you will have to use the forward arrow key, that right one basically. Again I have another integral which goes from 0 to t again, and I have ds. Okay, now I need to come out of this. Giving a space bar will also not make you come out of this. Okay, so please be sure. Now when solving this integral, so basically my integral becomes b control shift plus control shift minus. I am writing again the left hand side with the normal approach. Now how to place the limits on a bracket? So again the same thing, use columns, use this control z 0 comma t. Okay, this shows I am putting the limits from 0 to t in my solving unit. This is now same, so I can just simply copy paste the whole thing. Sorry, yes, control C, control V, and I have to write S. Again the same thing as I did in integral, nothing new. Okay guys, so this is the things. Clear? So finally we are getting, let's solve this, control shift control minus. Now I don't need to use equation editors as such, because and this will remain same, right? This whole thing will remain same. So either if I have not copy pasted this as well, because prior equation copy pasted was that, so I could just copy paste it again. I could just simply paste it. Okay, you don't have to show t minus 0 here, so you can just show it here. Control V, because I have this equation and I want this equation, right? I do not want this 2 here basically, and this is equal to 0.5, and I have b square t, sorry, control Z to retrieve the things. Okay, since I am in equation editor, yeah, b square t minus t brackets close. Clear guys? This is how can you say, and control B the thing. Is this clear? And you can also note that you can also write that since b0 is equal to 0, like why are we able to write this thing, right? So control I will do, so tap tap tap, control B, I will remove this because b0 is equal to 0 basically. That's why I am able to write the same thing. So this is how you can write a question of Ito's calculus. Is this clear guys? Have a look over it. I have focused here on both the approaches. So if you have any doubt in this, then please message our team, or you can leave a comment out there in the below the video basically. Okay. Now let's do second part. Basically we have covered most of the thing in the first part only, but still let's do the second part. So basically I am calculating expected value at time 0. Okay, control U back. So I am basically calculating the expectation. Okay, so expectation, control shift minus 0, then we have brackets in there, int 0 to t, brackets open, control Z to remove that sign, bsg again and multiplication sign. Now can you see this bracket closed is for integral, this bracket closed is for expectation. Okay, so I will put in the values. Basically what is my value? This 0.5 whole thing, right? So I can write 0.5. Again I am not using equation editor here. Why? Because it is not that much required, right? Use the equation editor where it makes your calculation, makes your typing easier, not more calculated. Okay, basically typing the equation editor, getting the equation editor bar itself contains typing 2 more keys all equal to. Okay, so 0.5 star expectation. Basically what I will do is I will just copy paste this whole thing and I will take this 0.5 out. So why do write the whole thing again and again? Okay, so I just take it and I just paste it. Clear guys? So again very much easier. And the next step would be typing this whole thing, just changing the brackets. So Control Shift minus and I change the brackets. I hope this is clear. Okay guys, let's move forward. Also Control Shift minus BT minus B0 basically follows sign is above the tab key in a keyboard on the left hand side. You can see a swiggle sign, right? That's your follows wala sign basically. So normal 0 comma t. Now I can just simply write the equation what I am getting, right? So let's write the equation. So this is, I just copy paste it because left hand side is not going to change basically, and this is going to be equal 0.5 t minus t basically 0. What is the reason behind it? I will have to write the reason because basically expectations, right? So I will write expectation at time 0 of b square t is equal to 0, right? B square t basically bt, first I will write bt because of the normal distribution is 0, okay, and variance at time 0 of my bt is basically t, okay, using the normal distribution, right? So that's what I am writing here. So this is what I have received the answer, okay. So I can write in a statement of conclusion. I have always focused on that. Hence the expected value of the process at time 0 is Control B 0, okay. Clear guys? So we have done this particular question as well. It was a good question if I consider it regarding the typing, because it covered your integral, covered your differentiation, it also covered your partial differentiation, okay. So I thought this was a good question, that's why I attempted it. But again I am repeating, if you feel like any particular question to be solved by me, then please message our team or you can comment it down below the video, okay. And if you are facing any issue while typing, right, like you are not able to write a particular notation, then also you can consult us. Till then guys, please keep practicing because exams are coming nearer and nearer. So please keep practicing your notations. Please start typing your answers in Word if you have not yet done it, because at the end of the day you have to type the answers in the examination. And even if you are 100% fully prepared, but you are not fully prepared regarding the typing, then it is not possible to score good in the exam, okay. Okay guys, thank you, have a nice day, keep learning.